Hi guys. So I have a bit of a crazy day today, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm on my way to a meeting with a woman that I've kind of met a couple times through various things going on, because she wants to start basically a physical therapy, equine therapy, specific for children with autism. And a mutual friend of ours put us in touch. And ironically, now I've seen her twice since then, because she came to it's getting bright out. I gotta put my sunglasses on. I've seen her twice since kind of the email introduction, because she came to my round table, or the round table that I organized a couple weeks ago. And then we ended up at the same meeting last week for another thing. So although this is like our introductory meeting, we've now seen each other twice. So before now. So anyway, we're just gonna kind of sit down and chat about kind of how we can work together, and because a big issue that she has is that a lot of parents don't have the funding to be able to put their children in her therapy, or the therapy that she's going to be providing. And one of the things that I actually do with parents of children with autism, and with other diagnoses as well, but that seems to be kind of the big one that I do now, is actually help them fill out all the paperwork to be able to, you know, ensure that they have all the funding that is available to them by the government. So it seems like a good partnership there, and we get along fabulously, so which is pretty cool. And then after that, we are actually both going to a kind of women entrepreneur brainstorming session, I guess you can call it. I'm not really sure what to call it actually, but I don't think I've actually mentioned to you guys yet that I've kind of officially been starting, or unofficial, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, to actually start, sorry, it's a really bumpy road right now, to start offering kind of workshops and one-on-one coaching with families, specifically with the parents of children with autism. So, and again, I mean, I'm offering it to more diagnoses than that, but kind of just starting in the autism community. But I've had some requests from families with children with ADHD and with anxiety and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So a few of my friends actually said, oh, are you going to this networking type of meeting? It's like an actual brainstorming, helping each other out kind of get together specific for women. And you know, after the third person asked me if I was going today, I figured I should probably, you know, it's not a subtle hint from the universe that I needed to be there. So I've done the homework. Yeah, there was actual homework, which was basically to listen to, as it turned out, a really great podcast. It was about 45 minutes, but it was a great one. It was one of those kind of motivating ones that was very interesting and spoke to me. So, so I've already done my homework for that. I haven't done my homework for class for this week, but it's online this week, so I can do that at another time. And yeah, so I'm just on my way there. I'm trying to get out of town still, but there's, you know, lots of traffic, but because it's actually, I'm leaving town. I am actually leaving town. Oh, and I'm also wearing heels for the first time in a year too. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that last year I ended up with a messed up foot and ankle. And as it progressed and kept getting worse and worse and worse, I ended up in a cast for 2 months. Thankfully it was one of those like removable cast things, so because of course it was my right foot, so thankfully the specialist said that I was allowed to take it off to drive, because otherwise we would have been actually 9 weeks without me driving, which would have been a little bit challenging, especially for my son. But yeah, I just, as long as I didn't put weight on it, then I could drive, right? So I couldn't like drive somewhere, get out of the car, start walking around, and then put the cast on. I had to drive, put the cast on, and then get out of the car. So I've tried a couple times since then to wear heels, and it just, you know, hurt just even walking around the house. So today I tried walking around the house wearing them, and so far so good. But and I am actually driving with them on. They're not high, really. They're only 2 inches or something. So only 2 inches. I usually wear like 3 or 4 inch heels, which, you know, I need when I'm 5'10", because, you know, every girl needs to be over 6 feet tall. I don't know. But I did bring sandals in case I have to change out of them, like in case I start to feel my foot hurting. So anyway, but I'm excited. I actually get to wear heels today. Yay! We'll see how long it lasts. Anyways, I'm almost out of town now, and I'm about to hit the highway, so I will turn this off, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye! Hi guys, so I finished the meeting with the one girlfriend, and then I went to the second meeting of a whole bunch of women in business, and it just always... I don't know how to explain this, right? Like, in my former career, I was kind of, I had to be part of the old boys club, right? And I knew the rules. I knew how that worked, and I knew the expectations, and it's even right down to, you know, I'm the same height as most men. Whereas, like, now I'm in this room with a whole bunch of women, and I can actually be a woman too, right? Like, I can actually say stuff that in my former career I never would have said, right? Like, being able to put certain beliefs, thoughts, all this kind of stuff out in the universe. And, you know, no, I have to leave by 2 o'clock to be able to be home for my kids and stuff like this. And, you know, we took a picture at the end of the 12 of us that were there, or 11 of us, sorry, that were there. You don't do that in, you know, networking groups that are more formal or more male-oriented, for lack of a better term, right? However, what I did do, because I'm actually wearing my heels today, I did, like, bend at the knees, because frankly, I was head and shoulders above everybody else, for height-wise. So I did, you know, I was not proud in this picture of my height, primarily because I haven't worn heels in probably 1.5 years now. But the information was great, being able to chat about reasons as to why women go into business and how we develop our brands, right? Like, my brand is me, right? Like, I'm the one that is trying to help everybody so that they can better support their families with children with special needs. And that, you know, we need to be unapologetic for how do I even use this? How do I say this? We need to be unapologetic for actually charging for our services. We need to be able to ebb and flow with what the market needs, you know, stuff like this. And it was wonderful to be back again. You know, a couple of these women I met a number of years ago, and they're like, oh my God, you're back. Like, where have you been? What have you been up to? What are you doing now? You know, let's talk. And being able to be in a room with 10 other women, that we're all there, we are all there to support each other. So whatever that looks like for each of us, totally different. You know, there were some women there who have, you know, who are married, others of us that are divorced, so there's, you know, more standing for, or more at stake from a financial standpoint, to ensure that, you know, we can actually make a go of this and stuff. Like, I don't know, I can't even like capture what all of this means, but just being able to kind of be in a room full of women, and I think that I've mentioned this pretty much every time that I have been in a room full of women, it's still kind of surprising to me, to the energy that happens and how supportive everybody is of everybody else. And that's not something that I experienced in my former career. Now, granted, I have not worked outside the home in over 6 years, so it may just be a change in how the business world works, but the big difference that I see from my experience is the gender difference. And I am not at all slamming men, at all, okay? Not at all, because I understood those rules when I was in my former career, and I was brought up in a very, very male-dominated industry, with my parents being self-employed as well. But it just, I really enjoy the energy of positive women, and women that build each other up instead of setting that glass ceiling and being threatened by other women, which is what my former career, I unfortunately had a couple, two bosses like that were women. So it was always very, very uncomfortable for me, because I was brought up in a, you know, family business where you hire people that are smarter than you. That was kind of my parents' motto, and we don't understand why you would hire somebody that you just want to keep down. So anyway, there's my ramblings. I'm on the way to back to my town now, because I've made it. I left the city. This is scary. No, it's not. If I go a couple more cities over, though, then it gets scary. And then I end up in Toronto, and that's just, anyway, I'm on my way to pick up my daughter from school, because her carpool had to go pick her son up earlier today. So I'm gonna go concentrate on that. Okay, bye guys. Does anyone else's kids do this? Well, cat aside anyway. But every day I put everything back in all my drawers for my desk. Every day my son comes back home and takes everything out. And what's even more strange in all of this is that there's no like consistency with where and how he puts everything on the desk. Like, if he put it on there in the exact same spot every single day, then it would make a little bit more sense to me. But this makes no sense. But there's our cute little patches. But for some reason then the cat likes to go and stand on different spots, and this is a daily thing that just irritates me. So after my son goes to bed tonight, I will go and put everything back in the desk, and then tomorrow morning he'll come down and put it all back. Or I'll just put it back when he goes to school. But it's one of those things. What you doing, sweetheart? That would be a piece of our driveway that he is very slowly taking apart. I mean, it was falling apart anyway. And then he just throws it up and waits for it to break. Hey, sweetheart, come here. Honey, come here. Can you say hi, YouTube?
Hi, YouTube.
That's it. And then whenever we finish and go inside, I get him to take all the pieces and we put them all here. So this is how busy he's been. 2 more minutes and then we're gonna go inside. This could keep him busy for hours. Hey, sweetheart, can you look at the camera and say bye, YouTube?
Bye, YouTube.
That's it. Hi guys, so it's, let's see, just about 9 o'clock. And I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm gonna sit down now with some pumpkin loaf and watch Blind Spot, actually. I'm not sure if this week or next week is actually the last week for it, so I'm gonna tune in and then hopefully I get to go to bed after that, because, you know, it's been kind of a busy day with lots of energy, which is great, but, you know, it's also time to go to bed soon, so... Anyways, thanks for joining me today, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe below and like this if you've enjoyed spending the day with me. Bye guys.